So in this session, we're going to talk about a God intervention. Now, I want to just show you that even though God gave Joseph dreams, and Joseph spoke out of his dreams, I mean, he spoke about his dreams, he spoke them out, giving validity to them, giving them substance. The way that his brothers and his father and family responded to them indicated that his dreams had substance for the future. So even though all of these things and all of his life had transpired, you could say that there was a man intervention to prevent them with his brothers who sold him to slavery. There was a man intervention when he became the captain of the guard with the Pharaoh's captain. You could say there was a man intervention when the woman tried to seduce him. You could say he got thrown into prison. You could say there was a man intervention, if you like, when the butler and the baker came into prison. But you can see that even though men made decisions and men's decisions were affecting Joseph all of this time, the dreaming that began to happen you could say Joseph, Pharaoh was unhappy with the butler and the baker and he put them into prison. That's a man intervention. You could say all of these things are men intervention. You could call them circumstantial. You could call them anything. But when the butler and the baker had a dream that needed interpretation, that's not something that was given by men. That was something that was originated and sourced by God. And then the interpretation that Joseph received was given to him by God. So now you can see, one could say that all of the things that happened in Joseph's life were as a result of men intervening, putting their actions into obstacles for Joseph's dream. But then there came a moment where God starts to give dreams, and the dreams become a platform for God to intervene. So last time we talked about Joseph intervening and giving the interpretation for the butler and the baker's dreams. The butler gets executed, the baker gets executed, the butler gets restored to his position. Now notice in chapter 41, then it came to pass at the end of 2 years. So Joseph is forgotten for another 2 years. Effectively, he spends another 2 years in prison. After it's clear that he can hear from God. He can interpret God's dreams. Hey, I'll tell you what, if you and I think 2 years have gone by without our dreams coming to pass, it would seem to us like a lifetime. But God, when he intervenes, he can change things around so quickly that it can make your head spin. It came to pass at the end of 2 years that Pharaoh had a dream, and a whole dream unfolds. And I don't want to talk to you, but it's a dream of him standing by a river, and there were fat cows and lean cows, and it became a very big event in the life of the Egyptians, and it became a big thing that ultimately changed the course of history for the children of Israel. But he has this dream, and he wakes up from the dream. Verse 8, now it came to pass in the morning, his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt and all its wise men. He called for all the people that so-called could perform magic, all the wise men, all the people that knew all things about spirit world and about dreams and all that. And Pharaoh told them his dreams, but there was no one who could interpret them for Pharaoh. What? No one could interpret them. These guys are used to doing these sorts of things. This is what they paid for. This is what their legacy is. This is what their position is all about, is to be able to interpret them. Not one of them could interpret the dreams. I guess if they could have seen, maybe they would have been able to interpret. I could say to you, God blinded their eyes so they couldn't see, because he only wanted one man to see, and that man was Joseph. And so, in the end, no one can answer the dreams. And then the chief butler spoke to Pharaoh, saying, I remember my faults this day, when Pharaoh was angry with his servants and put me in custody in the house of the captain of the guard. both me and the chief baker. We each had a dream in one night, and he and I, each of us dreaming according to interpretation of our own dreams. Now there was a young Hebrew man with us there, a servant of the captain of the guard, and we told him, and he interpreted our dreams for us. To each man he interpreted according to his own dream. And it came to pass, just as he interpreted for us, so it happened. He restored me to my office, and he hanged him. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him quickly out of the dungeon. He shaved, changed his clothes, and came to Pharaoh. And I'm going to leave it there. He shaved, he changed his clothes, and he came to Pharaoh. And I will pick up on the next session with you on this transition when God has an intervention. I'll see you on the next one.